Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Chunky. What's up, Iguana Stew? Good morning. Testing a fire pump for a sprinkler system today. Nice. Well, I hope that works. Morning, Grumpy Cat. Grumpy Cat Dad, that's cute. What's the plan today? Are those graded cards behind you? Yeah, that's my vintage baseball card collection. Day off. Geoff is the best. I don't have a day off. I'm gonna work today. Thank you for letting me know, Tepid. You're laying on the flight line at Fort Hood today. Oh, man. That's right. It's Fort Hood again now, right? They rechanged it back from Cavazos to Hood. Fucking. Gotta love identity politics. Gotta love wasting valuable Americans' time renaming shit to win a fucking sports battle, essentially, between two teams. Okay, what are we doing today? That's right, we were seeing how that was going to go because we needed to send a convoy. And we were like, how bad is it going to be? Let's send the convoy, right? And then we'll see where it fails, and then we'll fix where, instead of just guessing. Let's do that. This town is running like a ghost town. Man, Millie has gotten that song stuck in my head. Hey, why'd you stop? This town is running like a ghost town. Okay. I think they've reduced how close you can put them together or something. That's not going to work. That's definitely going to stick us, but that's okay. We need something to do. That's not where we're going. This isn't gonna work at all, but we'll know what we gotta fix at least. Felt like Secret Santa where you're opening gifts for everybody but yourself. Oh, don't worry. Everything I opened there was for me too. I had a blast doing it. Thanks to everybody who showed up for the break show yesterday. I really appreciate it. It was a long time coming. Year and a half break between episodes of that show, which is a long time. Eric and I were talking about it pretty extensively on Monday, how production's weird. You do a show every week for years, it becomes like a sense memory. You don't even think about it. You just kind of move into action on it and start instinctively doing the stuff that you need to do because you've been doing it for so long. And then you stop. Rooster Teeth got canceled. Rooster Teeth got shut down. And you stop doing that show. But that time is filled with other shit immediately. So you don't miss the absence of it. And then you just move production to something else. And you just quit thinking in terms of that show. And then a year and a half later comes by. And you put a lot of work into it to get it off the ground again because you know you want to do it. And then when you get there, you're like, I don't remember how to make this. I don't remember anything about this show. Eric and I both were like, I know we did it, but I don't remember doing it. And so I was a little nervous yesterday. wondering how hard it was going to be to re-find our footing, but it was instant. Took 1 second. Really enjoyed it. Oh, thank you so much, Pancake. Really appreciate that. Thanks for supporting that show. Next episode will be next week. Yeah, we'll do it again next week at the same time, 3 p.m. Central, on the Regulation Twitch channel, for sure. I just have a trip coming up, and I wasn't sure what week it was. And I think even with the trip, I'd still be there, but I just wanted to make sure before I schedule it. But yeah, we're definitely in the clear for next week. The next one, the third one, might be difficult to schedule, but next week's will be just fine. If we don't have a problem here, then we're not going to have a problem. We might be okay. Would be perfectly okay. You enjoyed having Nick as a part of the break show this time as well? Me too, yeah. It was weird seeing the new set. I had so much fun building the set. You know, I slowly did that over the span of a couple months, just with Eric, just figuring out where everything was going to go. But like once it was locked into place last week, then I spent the weekend thinking about the set and just collecting stuff. And then Monday I put it all together, and I had so much fun putting it together. I also just kind of wanted to leave it like not completely full because I want to have room to add stuff to it. Like I've already got a new poster coming, 2 new posters coming for it. It'll take up a lot of space. So, but thanks. Yeah, I left the set intentionally a little empty. It's also a permanent set now. You know, like I've never had that at Rooster Teeth. Everything was on casters and flats, and so Shane and those guys would wheel it in, set it up, light it, then wheel it out to make room for the next show, which makes total sense. But there was always a little bit of jostling and impermanence, and stuff would get lost or disappear, you know, between shoots sometimes. And now everything is exactly where we left it. Like it didn't move at all. And so I even have to go into the office today to go through those tops cards because I got to look for some stuff I need and organize it. But yeah, so it just lives there now, which is really cool. Right here was the problem, huh? Who had the problem? Not this guy. Hype train. Hell yeah. Thank you. I think instead of fixing this up, I might just let it go. These guys don't seem to be having any real trouble with it. This is the trouble. Although this is the trouble. No? Wow. We might be all right. Thank you, Thayer. Thank you to everybody who's subbing this morning. Hype training. One thing about the break show, that light is radiating off your face and head. Might need to dim it a bit. I'll let Eric know. Yeah, what's up with your pee issues? Gatorade bottle? You peeing in a Gatorade bottle, Mark? Oh, what's this about? That's no good. Morons. Okay. What's up? Leo Panda. Just want to say thanks for bringing back the break show. Loved it. Thank you. Thank you, Cassie Red Sky, for the sub as well. Thank you so much for checking it out and supporting it yesterday. It was a lot of fun. It's something that I personally really enjoyed and never made it, never got that show quite to where I wanted it to be. And so I'm hoping this time around maybe we can do that. It's going to be able to be more of a focus in my life now, which is nice. So fingers crossed. But I'm very excited to be back at it. Just have to figure out a way to make it make sense to the company to keep going.
Great job. The first batch of spares has arrived at the solar station.
What's all that?
Now, if somebody could install them at the western side of the station and do the same at the eastern side,
Who?
the rest of the spares arrive, well, I'd sure
Installing
be
solar. Oh boy. Oh boy. Let's see.
Outstanding performance in my report. Don't you love going above and beyond?
What's the edge of the map? No. Oh my. There's a lot of map hidden back there. But that is the edge, yeah. So it's not going to come up. It's going to have to come up around here. Or through here. And then we can make this climb, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see what's going on in the chat first. Just dropped my cat off for tooth extraction. Heartbreaking having to get them in the crate. Cats do not like going to the vet, in my experience. It was sugar-free, too. I can never find them. Oh, no. Good morning. Oh, hey, what's up? Oh, Cyrus Flight. Yesterday was my first break show. I'm not big on sports cards, but still enjoyed the hell out of the show, especially Eric's vindication after talking about getting mail for other people. That, I missed 10 gifted subs. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs, whoever sent this. Let me see. Illuminous. Thank you so much. You're my favorite person. Don't tell my wife. Is the 3 p.m. time set in stone? Probably, yeah. It's got to work with my schedule, Emily's schedule, Eric's schedule, and eventually Gavin and Nick as well. So, yeah. I think 3 is the time that works for everybody. This motherfucker still has like 10 trucks to go through. Keeps crashing. Keeps not making it. Foolish mercenary, thank you so much. Gavin really likes being on the break show. He really enjoys it. And I really appreciate that. All right, let's look at the objectives, see what we want to do. We could breathe life into the solar station, or we could bring cargo to the river base, or take the... it's all delivery shit, huh? Bring resources to the zone. Is this the zone? Logs? Ugh, that's going to suck. Can I store logs? I can. Definitely don't want to do that. I'll do this. Okay. Anyone know where I can find yesterday's break show? It will be up on Friday. The VOD, we'll put it up on Friday on YouTube and Patreon. Oh, this is where it goes. Where do I get it from? Down here? Right? Is that the one? Yeah. So I just need to get it down. Yeah. Going the wrong way. Had to give you some subs. I've been using your recommendations for food and drinks in Austin since I've been in Killeen. Oh, shit, you in the military? Thank you for your service. And I'm so sorry about Killeen. On the bright side, you won't have to live there forever. Like all the poor children of retired soldiers who do. Oh, level 3 emotes. Hell yeah. Alright, let's go grab whatever this is. Straight shot. You've probably been asked this a lot, but will there ever be a regulation Minecraft series? I have been asked that a lot, but I'm happy to answer it for you right now. The answer is no. We have no interest in playing Minecraft. We don't enjoy it or have fun doing it, and if we played it and then we'd have to pretend to have fun. And then you'd be like, you guys don't seem like you're enjoying this. And we'd be like, we're not. We're just pretending to enjoy it because you guys want us to play it. And then you'd be like, well, don't play it because we just want you to enjoy what you're playing. And we'd be like, okay. So we'll just cut out the middleman and don't do it. Ah! Oh. That was insane. Break show worked great with my 6 a.m. coffee. Hell yeah. I'm really jazzed to be able to bring it back. I really am. It's a lot of fun. I feel like it's a healthy way for me to explore my fandom, let alone fandom in general. What do you mean you can't secure car? Thank you. Let's say. The fuck it. It's perfectly in there. How are you not going to secure it? Don't be an asshole. It's a sad boat. There's that pipe I dumped on it. Whoa there, Geoff. You sound like you're burnt out. No, I'm not burnt out anymore. I just don't... I haven't been burned out on Minecraft in years. I just don't want to do it anymore. We just did everything. We got every bit of fun we can have out of it, you know? Filmed hundreds upon hundreds of hours of content. I personally was in over 200 Minecraft videos, and there were over 400 in the series, I think. And then you got to take into consideration all the things to do's we did as well, of which there are just as many as Let's Plays probably, or damn near. And then figure every Minecraft Let's Play that we filmed, not everyone, but most of them, certainly for an era, involved Gavin and I spending 15 hours of our weekend building it. This is not right. It'd be cool if I could go up there, but I know I can't. Cool if I go up there, but I'm pretty sure I might actually be able to, but whatever. We don't need to. Let's go the way we came. Mustache looking great. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. That's because of my wife. You figured we were tired. Yep. You figured right. Thank you. Oh. I don't know where that door opened up on me. Let's do this. How long would it take to record a video that ended up as 30 to 45 minutes long? It depends on what you're asking, Stormy. Are you asking, are we still on the Minecraft conversation? And if so, are you talking like a 6-person Minecraft Let's Play? I mean, a 45-minute Let's Play, which would probably be about the average back in those days, 45 minutes to an hour, would probably have an additional, let's say 30 minutes of shooting time. So if it's an hour-long video, we probably recorded for an hour and a half, which meant, you know, at least a dozen hours before that, building it and testing it, and then at least an hour getting the guys on track, getting the guys in the game, getting everybody in the game and ready to record and able to film, and working through tech problems and working out and figuring out why Jeremy can't get in the game when everybody else can, and then we get Jeremy fixed, but now Gavin can't get in the game, so we got to figure out that, and then the game type doesn't load, and then Michael has to go to the bathroom, and then Matt came in and needed to borrow somebody for something for a second, and then at least an hour to get the game going and filming, and then barring no technical problems, yeah, it'd probably take an hour and a half to film an hour-long video, because there's going to be faff to cut. And then, you know, then Gavin or somebody sits down with a 6-feed multicam edit and spends 3 days of their life editing it. It's a tremendous amount of work to go into one Minecraft Let's Play. Think about 6 people all working for an hour and a half on something. That's 8 hours of pay right there for one video. And then 3 days of editing. So you got to do with all that and pay that. And then the development, which was Gavin and I building it on the nights and weekends. That should have cost something, but it didn't. We did it for free. So you're looking at, you know, probably 2 full-time build days when it's all said and done. I would say one Minecraft Let's Play cost somewhere between 40 and 50 man-hours of work. So you have to think about it in terms of that, especially like when you're like, is it worth it to make? These are old figures and old conversations from a different company, so it doesn't apply to anything we do today. But that was always the calculation back then. Like, is this video going to get enough views to justify the fact that I had to pay the salaries of 55 hours worth of a person, or 50 hours worth of a person, to make this video? If that person makes $20 an hour, you know, but that person, it's multiple people throughout the week, but, you know, it adds up to essentially 55 hours of a person. And that person, you know, say they make $20 an hour. That's how much that video costs to make. If it gets 400,000 views on YouTube, then it, you know, maybe it makes most of that back, but not all of it. Love the return of the break show yesterday. Thank you so much. Also heard y'all had power issues sometimes. Mark, you have no idea, man. It was a constant fight with all kinds of different stuff. Most of it's networking issues. Having 6 you don't think about it, but having 6 Xboxes in the same office on the same internal network, all trying to connect to the same video game at the same time, seems like it should just work fine, but it doesn't. It creates a litany of issues you have to work through. Even with OpenNat, and then you're dealing with company security protocols. And that is a problem too, because it's like, can I open up the NAT? What is the Warner Brother policy on opening up a NAT? What is the AT&T or Fullscreen policy on opening up a NAT? We have to talk to their we have to get Adam Baird to talk to their tech guys, and it's just like, it's very complicated. It's very everything we did was so much harder than people had any idea. A Minecraft. Think about a Minecraft video before we hit upload. It had already cost $1,000 to make, probably, if not more. And then back then you were getting $2,000 a million views, hopefully. So a video would have to get 1 million views to make a profit for us back then, or come close. So yeah, I'm glad I don't live in that world in that way anymore. Not counting the gear. Yeah, and that doesn't consider all the gear and the expertise that goes into it, Yeah, $1,000 is just the man hours to make one Minecraft Let's Play. So when people are like, I wish you had made more, it's like, I wish I had $1,000 to drop down every time I wanted to open up Achievement City, which I did. But, just trust that if we were going to put the man hours, $1,000 worth of man hours, probably way more, honestly. But if we were going to put $1,000 to $2,000 in man hours into every video before we made it, we made every video we possibly could think of before we stopped, which is why you won't see any more Minecraft. Yeah, it's a whole week of one person, and it's a variety of different skills that go into that week too, like. Building video games, the work that Gavin and I did, the Matt Bragg work, was very hard. The creativity portion of it, and then making it work and making it functional was a very different skill set than playing it, and performing on camera, which is a very different skill set than editing it, which is a very specialized skill set. And half the reason the Minecraft videos were so good is because Gavin edited them, and Gavin is a tremendous editor, and it also helps when you're editing the thing that you created, Gavin had a narrative he was building from the second we hit record until it ended. So when he sat down to edit, he already had an idea in his head of how everything was going to go, because he knew the ins and outs of it, because he made it, Thank you so much for the sub. Oh, yeah. Everybody thank Illuminous for all those awesome subs they threw out. Really, really, really appreciate it. Capture cards, internet monitors, Xboxes, yeah. Security, HR, all the different departments that run a company, yeah. $2,000 from AdSense, but there were direct sponsorships and first sales as well. Sure, but first off, we weren't getting $2,000 from AdSense. When was the last time a Minecraft video got 1 million views? Say 500,000. That'd be cool. 500,000 was good for us. So say $1,000 from AdSense. So you're breaking even. And then how many times did you see a top line sponsor on a Minecraft video? Go back and watch the entirety of the Achievement Hunter catalog. I bet you can count on your fingers and toes the amount of times somebody said, this gameplay, this Minecraft or GTA or Call of Duty gameplay is presented by Green Chef or Satva mattresses or BetterHelp or one of those. That's very rare. Those companies, they don't sponsor. Advertisers don't sponsor gameplays like that. They might do a top line sponsorship where they say, we're going to sponsor this show you've created, The Gamerhood, and we'll be the State Farm that sponsors the whole thing. But Casper Mattress isn't lining up, knocking on the door at Rooster Teeth and going, hey, do you guys got any Minecraft or GTA Let's Plays we can give you money for? That's not interesting to them at all. They want verbal sponsorships on podcasts. That's where podcasts make money. So you could say, yeah, it's just AdSense, but there's also the direct sponsorships and first sales and stuff. The first sales, yes, but first sales were largely generated by creating first shows. Hardcore Monopoly, Fuck Face Off, I don't think if Simple Walk was one, but Last Laugh, Haunter, those shows. People weren't paying for Minecraft because it was something we gave them for free, so they didn't want to pay for Minecraft. So aside from, Survive Block Island, I don't think we ever had Minecraft behind the paywall. So it's complicated, and it was hard. And the way it works is, you know, you make a little bit of money over here, you make a little bit more money over here, you lose a little bit of money here, so the extra money you made over here covers that cost. And then it's just this is what business is. It's a shell game of like, this is profitable, this is unprofitable. Try your best to limit how much you do this or do away with it. But if it's not possible and you absolutely have to do this because it's integral to what you do or a part of it or you believe in it, then you got to find other ways to prop this up by being extra profitable over here so that you can, you know, rising tide raises all ships. And that's why it was very hard and complicated to run a company like Rooster Teeth for 22 years. That's why there aren't a lot of them out there. Outside of Dropout and College Humor, I can't think of anybody else who's doing what we do as long as we did it, you know? You can't recall any Minecraft videos having ads. I can't either, Stormy, and I don't know that they ever did. Nobody would have paid for it. Nobody wanted to. They don't see a value in a gameplay video. There's no advertiser out there that sees a value in a gameplay video outside of the advertiser of the game. If you were to give a percentage to how far into the total Minecraft series it started being less fun to do, I don't know. Episode 30? Probably. 35, somewhere around there. Was it based on views, flat rate, or code use? I'm not sure what we're talking about there. Theater mode was my favorite. Thank you. Theater mode was another one. A lot of fun. First only show. Had to make money off first memberships because we were dealing with licensing. Every video we showed on theater mode, I had to buy licensing and rights to, which, by the way, I had never done before when this started. I had the idea to make theater mode. We wanted to do a Mystery Science Theater style show. We thought that would be a lot of fun. You know, that was sort of a wish fulfillment for me, bucket listy type thing as somebody who grew up watching that show and wanting to do my own bad version of it. I had to go out and talk to production companies. I had to go out and talk to distributors and find distributors that were okay with the idea that would then sell me rights to their shows, and then I had to find shows that I could afford. Very complicated, echelons above my skill level or my ability to think through stuff. A lot of talented people in Rooster Teeth helped me out with those moments, but you know, every episode of theater mode started with a $3,000 payment or a $2,500 payment, or the movies tended to be between $2,000 and $3,000. So thanks killing 3 for us to even sit down and do that. Not only do we have to book the time with the studio and the 20 people that worked behind the scenes that you very rarely ever saw in the control room, the Cody Hawkins, the Shanes, the Patricks that were running and doing all the lighting and the tech, complicated work behind it, and then you had the dickheads on screen. Before we even hit record there, we were $3,000 in the hole just in licensing, you know? And that's for a first show where we're hoping enough people subscribe to cover that cost. And that's every week, you know? The break show, not theater mode was, you know, at least 10 to 12 grand a month in licensing hits just to make it, which it's hard. Getting an AH sausage stock. Yeah, I don't mind talking about this stuff now that the company is gone, you know? I didn't mind talking about this stuff then. It just didn't feel like it was appropriate to talk about business in that way. What's Wootware getting a comeback? I don't think... Wow, Mark, you are learning about our history, buddy. I don't think Wootware will be making a return ever. I definitely don't even own that domain anymore. I need a site you get graphic t-shirts from. I don't really get graphic t-shirts. I used to make my own back when I had the Geoff line, but I don't. This is a Las Vegas Aviators minor league baseball shirt that I got when I went to a game. Mostly I just wear white t-shirts. All of this sounds really difficult. It really was, Able Juicebox. It really was, and I'm just talking about my small part in it. You know, this is a 400-person company at some point with an animation department, with departments that are like support departments that are bigger than Achievement Hunter. You know, like it was a lot of moving pieces and a lot of really hard, complicated, expensive work going on. And the facade, right? The facade that we created very lovingly and very honestly was of a bunch of idiots that didn't know what they were doing, which was partially true. We just hid how hard everything was behind the curtain so you couldn't see it, because that part's not fun. What was my favorite idea or concept that never made it past the cutting room floor? That's easy. It took me about 3 years to get Hardcore Monopoly made. I had this idea years and years and years ago, and I kept pushing for it, and I kept wanting to make it, and they told me I was crazy, and then Honor was made, and it was successful, and then The Weird Place was successful, and a couple other big budget shows were successful, and they wanted more because Achievement Hunter fans paid for first. They were supportive, and I really appreciate that. They always were. They always showed up and supported. And so I finally got them to agree to Hardcore Monopoly, and then that was a huge hit. And so we were doing other hardcore stuff, other hardcore tabletop stuff, and including we did a couple seasons of Monopoly. I had my ultimate show that I wanted to do that I had worked on and I had created a treatment for. I'd done a whole pitch deck for it, and I really believed in it, and I think it would have been really good, was Clue. I had a Clue. It was a sort of a theatrical, the way we were going to film and shoot it, and I had this really, what I thought was clever idea to make Clue. I got Hannah on board. She was a champion of the production. She was going to direct it, hopefully, and it was going to be awesome. And it briefly was greenlit, but you know, Rooster Teeth was having so many troubles in the last couple of years there that it got ungreenlit, and it never got made. And to this day, I think about it every once in a while. I think about scenes in my head that I was going to film with Michael and Gavin, and they still make me laugh. Someday. Never. Actually, no, it's never going to happen. There is no someday. That's just not going to happen. So that one, that's the one that I don't think about. I don't think about that stuff very often. I don't have a lot of regrets, but I kind of wish we would have been able to make that at some point. There was also a game show I created in the last 2 years that I would have made. I just never was able to make it a priority because there's so much other stuff going on, called Rock, Paper, Sandwich, that I really wanted to make, that I was pretty into the idea of. I thought it was very funny, and I really wanted to make that, and we never did. And technically, Warner Brothers owns that idea now, so I can't make it. Rock, Paper, Sandwich. And it would go like this: rock, paper, sandwich? Do you have a P.O. box so we can send you stuff? Yes, we do. Regulation Company, P.O. Box 13146, 111 East 17th Street, Austin, Texas 78701. Did I end up fishing Dredge? I 100%ed Dredge, yeah. So I got nothing left. I did all the DLC. If there was more DLC, I would. I love that game. But yeah, I completely finished it. What's up, that guy, Crasher? Thank you for the content. Oh, of course. Thanks for the support. Favorite project to work on? Regulation, obviously. But then any easy answer is Survive Block Island. I really enjoyed that production a lot. I gotta cut down trees. I don't want to cut down trees. It's like this is not a tree. I feel like these people need all the trees they can get, you know? I don't feel like they have them to spare. Could I buy trees? Probably. Let's head on down there and let's see. If I can buy trees instead of cutting these ones down, I think I'm going to do that. Was Dillbot in the kitchen with the lead pipe? Weird Place introduced me to Meow Wolf and led me and my wife's plan to visit the location. Yeah, it introduced me to Meow Wolf too. Those Meow Wolf people were very cool to work with. They're such a big deal now. They've had so much success and growth. It's been so crazy to watch. All right, so I think the construction, there we go. God knows I have plenty of money, so I should just be able to shop and buy. How many logs do I need? 10. Get out of here. Get out of here. You need to go pick up logs. All right. Let's take him down to where the logs are, and then we'll get back to chatting. I was having a good time just chatting today. Was there a moment where a different decision could have saved everything? I mean, I don't know what you mean by saved everything. And in terms of the company continuing, I mean, the decision could have... the decision not to shut us down would have saved everything by Warner Brothers, but there was no like, oh, if Rooster Teeth had zigged instead of zagged on this one production, everything would have been differently. It would have gone differently. No, I think it's just... It's hard to point to any production company that lasts 20 years, right? Making ephemeral internet connection or internet content for people of an age range on the internet, lasting 21, 22 years, however long it was, is an insane... It's just an insane thing to do. Most production companies don't last past their second production. Rooster Teeth, people like to talk about how Rooster Teeth failed because it ended. And it did. But Rooster Teeth succeeded for 20 years. For more than 2 decades. They made and entertained. They made thousands of pieces of content. Hundreds of thousands of hours. And entertained millions of people for 21 years. I just cannot use the word failure there. It feels like so opposite of a failure, and all creative partnerships end. Whether you're talking about Ricky Gervais and Stephen Merchant, or the Gary Sanchez guys, or The Lonely Island, or Please Don't Destroy, or Derek Comedy, like all these groups eventually end. Nothing's meant to last forever. The fact that Rooster Teeth lasted for 20-ish years, a little over 20 years, and created content on day one, and we're still creating content on the last day, man, that feels like such a fucking success and a win to me. And the fact that the people who did it are still doing it, you know? Blaine and Barbara and Chris and Gus and Michael and Lindsay and Trevor and Alfredo and James and Elise and Patrick and Charlotte and all of those wonderful and talented people are still making stuff, you know? And that is a legacy of success, not failure, I think. Have a wonderful morning. See you later. You deserve the best day ever, King. I hope you have it. Hell of an announcement. Uh-oh. What did I miss? There was tons of stuff we hid that was never found, yeah. Is that the one in Grapevine, Drunken Mouse? I went to that recently. Yeah, Grapevine. We went there recently. That's a cool one. It's very reminiscent of the first. House of Eternal Return, the very first one in Santa Fe. It's different, but it's thematically similar. And we all, as we all know, getting the rights to Ratty Boy was the final straw. That's right. We have the Ratty Boy rights. The internet-based production company definitely seems like something with a shelf life. 22 years is a long time, man. I wonder how long Rooster Teeth would have lasted if they didn't sell the full screen. Not nearly as long as we did. That's the reality of it. I didn't, hindsight's 2020, obviously, but I don't think we would have made it 15 years. Production just runs its course. It really does, Like, at some point, Bernie and Gus and I made everything we wanted to make together. Doesn't mean we want to stop making stuff, or Bernie's got stuff he wants to make. Matt has stuff he wants to make. Gus is making Stinky Dragon and the stuff that he wants to make, and I'm making the stuff that I want to make. And I got news for you. Bernie and Matt and Gus don't want to make Regulation. And that's nothing wrong with that. That's not a slight on our friendship or anything like that. That's just not what they're into. Bernie wants to make high production value movies and shows. I have no desire to do that. I did that shit for years. It's not for me. Regulation is what I want to do. Dumb internet videos with my friends. 2025's era of a less painful jackass. That's my sweet spot on the internet. Gus's is D&D. Bernie and Matt want to be filmmakers. We enabled and supported and helped each other in those endeavors for as long as we could as a company, and now everybody's going off and doing their own things, and we support each other in the same way, just as friends and fans now. But the idea that, like, because Bernie and I wanted to make something together when I was 26 and he was 27 or 28, the idea that we're still going to want to make stuff together in the same way when I'm 50 and he's 52, it just doesn't, it's just not the way the world works, All right, I'm going to catch up on chat now. It'll be interesting to see what Bernie does with RT after everything now. I agree. I can't wait. Can't wait to see and support. Michael Jordan was a failure as a basketball player because he no longer plays the NBA. Ratty Boy. Oh, yeah. Ratty Boy. The Ratty Boy was a big get for us, of course. The one in Grapevine is so huge. It's bigger than Vegas. Yeah, it's very similar to like I said, like the one in Grapevine where it starts with the house inside, and you go through the house, and then you go into the world. That's exactly what the Santa Fe one does. It's just a different family that's the mystery. And everything's like 40% different than the one in... so it's not even like a remake. It's like a reinterpretation of the original. It's not like everyone died at RT. They're all still around making the same content. Yeah. Less painful jackasses. Yeah. It's like a little more family friendly. Less blood. What's up, Jorky Bilfus? Thank you, Sloppy Swagmo. Make a call center and go full circle. Yeah, I'm trying to fund my tech support call center. I love and cherish growing up with RT, but I love everything, what everyone has made for themselves. Thank you. Have you seen the new RT site? Yeah, I've seen it. It's great. It's like, it's weird seeing it back. Yeah, imagine how I feel. It is weird for sure. It definitely doesn't feel like a 2025 thing for me. How often do you open baseball packs? Every Monday at 3 p.m. Central on the Regulation Pods Twitch.tv channel. I'm mostly, for my collecting, I just buy graded, but for my addiction, I buy packs. I collect like sets. I buy packs for set building and for the break show. Just rolled over an invisible tree there. So after I record with y'all today, after I stream with y'all today, I'm going to go for a bike ride. Just got to get that exercise. Then, this last week has been a busy. And then, I got to do So Alright. Then I got to do thumbnails for Nick. And then I think I'm done for the day. I know there's better ways to do this, but this is the way I've chosen to do this today. It's the way I feel like doing it. Andrew's gonna keep playing Silksong? I have no idea. I don't know if he is or not. He seemed to enjoy it though. Bernie didn't want to make it last time. I don't know why he'd want to make it this time. Hey, here's the deal with Bernie. Bernie wants to make Bernie ideas. That's why he bought Rooster Teeth, to make stuff he wants to make. He made plenty of my shit. He doesn't need to make my shit anymore. Are you talking to me, a Rangers or Astros guy? Neither. I'm a Detroit Tigers fan. Used to be a White Sox fan most of my life, but I've given up on them, and I'm moving to Michigan at some point, so I decided to dive in and be a Tigers fan. Starting with Ty Cobb, and I'm working my way up. RT helped me through some really dark times in my life. Me too. Thank you. And I'm sad that they're gone, but yeah. It's hard for me to be sad anymore. Sad I don't get to work with some of those people. But day-to-day life and regulation is no slight to RT, but is so much better. Quality of life is so much better. The speed with which we can work and get shit done is so much better. It's incomparable. I don't want to be disrespectful to the memory of my previous company that I created, but I'm very jazzed about the new one. Do I ever do mountain biking? I used to. I'm too old for that now. I was thinking about getting back into it, and then Emily had a client who was mountain biking, dude about my age, who seems to always be in the same stuff I'm into, or seem to always be in the same stuff he's into, so I always hear about it. And right around the time I was thinking about getting into mountain biking, like downhill mountain biking, because we've got a couple places in Austin, or in the vicinity, he went and did a mountain biking trip and broke his wrist in such a way that it turned his arm into an accordion, kind of right here. And they had to invent a new kind of surgery to fix his hand. And so I thought, you know what? I'll just watch it on TikTok. I always wondered who ended up with the AH rights, or is that stuff still under NDA? Not as far as I'm aware, it's not. I don't think there's any NDA about that. As far as I know, Warner Brothers has the achievement hunter rights. Everything was for sale when the company ended. I got the Geoff stuff. I acquired So Alright. I acquired Anima and Regulation. Well, we acquired Regulation. Regulation cost all of our money. and was Fuckface. So regulation didn't exist. Fuckface. We acquired Fuckface. We bought that. That was the big thing, and the other stuff was easy to get. Achievement Hunter, I looked at acquiring, and Let's Play we looked at acquiring, and they were both just too much money for what we would have gotten out of them, if that makes sense. It just didn't seem to make sense financially, and so we didn't acquire them. We only acquired Fuckface and the other stuff I mentioned, and then I don't think Bernie got him either. No, he didn't. He didn't get Achievement Hunter or Let's Play. So those belong to Warner Brothers still. So look for them to. I wouldn't be surprised if those channels went away someday. When whoever is liquidating shit at Warner Brothers and is consolidating and trying to figure out what to do with dead IP, I can't imagine that stuff would be very high on their list. So yeah, but who knows? It's out of my hands. If I had the money to go buy Achievement Hunter and Let's Play, I guess I could, and then I would own them again, but I don't really want to. I'm pretty happy living in 2025. Did Bernie tell me about his plans to purchase RT? Yes. He asked me if I wanted to participate in reacquiring Rooster Teeth, and I politely declined. I loved my time at Rooster Teeth. I love what we made. But it is over for me, and I'm not looking to recreate it. Looking to make the new thing, regulation, and so I was very happy that Bernie wanted to reacquire Rooster Teeth in name and some of the intellectual property and spin it back up again in some form or fashion, but I have zero interest in participating in it because I already put 22 years of my life there, and I'm ready to do something else. So I said no when he asked. You want to see Emily in a draft? Wow, we don't have guests in drafts. Was there different prices for everything? Sure, everything had a different value. Replacing an indoor air conditioner evaporator coils today. Nice, Mark. That sounds like a fun day. If Let's Play was up for the fraction of the price, would you buy it? Sure. Well, yeah, if they're going to come to me and say, like, yeah, well, $50, we'll give you Let's Play. Sure. I don't know what I would do with it other than just maintain the archive, but I don't really need it or want it. Honestly, what would I do with it? I'm not going to make new Let's Plays. I have the regulation channel to do that, you know? So it'd just be like maintaining a past archive. And I feel like the Archive of Pimps does that for free. You're not going to lose that stuff because, like I said, it's on the Internet Archive. It's on the Archive of Pimps. People have copies. They may leave it up forever. I don't know. It's their content. They can do whatever they want to with it. They might leave it up for the next 50 years. I really have no idea. I just, I wouldn't expect any kind of investment into it from them. Yes, there are big plans for regulation coming up. Not that we can talk about, though. We've got a lot going on. We've been very busy behind the scenes. The break show isn't the only thing we've been busy doing in the background for the last couple of weeks. You just have to listen to the podcast to find out. The podcast answers everything. And there'll be a new one tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. Forgot what day it was for a second. Is Clutch My Pearls part of regulation? No. No, that's their own thing. Fuckface's name might have saved y'all from being so expensive. I wish it did. I wish it did. The reality of it is, Fuckface was the most profitable production in the company by a mile at the end. And so we paid for it. They knew what they had. And they made sure we paid what it was worth. And it was worth it. No complaints on my end. That one was worth buying. Regulations not partnering with anybody. Any preview for what tomorrow's episode will be about? You know, I genuinely don't know. We recorded next week's episode yesterday, so I have that on the brain. And I have 69 on the brain because it just came out, but I don't remember specifically anything about 70. I apologize. Where's he going? Okay. We don't do crossovers with people in our corner of content. I don't know why we would do it with people outside of it. How about this? Shuts, give me an example of who you're talking about. Who would you want to see us do crossovers with? Because I'll be honest with you, my desire to do crossovers and collaborations and work with other people is pretty limited. I worked with 1 million people over at Rooster Teeth for 1 million years. I kind of just want to work with the 4 idiots that I do now. I can't imagine who I would want to go out of my way to do a collaboration with. Notice I use the full word, not the stupid abbreviation. What? Wrong button. Thank you. Dummy. I don't know why that specific one gave me so much trouble. All right. Definitely better ways to do this, but that's okay. The fucking problem with the A button in this game is really annoying. If you don't know what I'm talking about, consider yourself lucky. Uh-oh. Well, that's going to be a problem. Somehow that was not a problem. Wild. There are all kinds of tools that I could be using for logs that I'm not using here. This is not, don't let this be an indictment on the game. This is me choosing to do it this way. The game has plenty of options for appropriately dealing with logs. I'm just not using them. All right, hold on. Let me get back to the chat. Sorry, I was in the middle of a conversation with you guys and I got distracted by the task at hand. How's the burger count going? Good. You have to listen to the podcast to find out. I won't give burger count updates here. I would love a one-off podcast style with you, Gus, Bernie, and Matt. I got news for you. If you want to see Gus, Geoff, Bernie, and Matt in content, there are dozens, if not hundreds, of old episodes of the RT podcast you can listen to. We have performed together so many hundreds upon hundreds of times. There's a whole career of us performing together. The last thing on earth anybody needs is more of those four people together. You had it for 20 years. And if I did a one-off podcast with me, Gus, Bernie, and Matt, next week you guys would be asking for another podcast with me, Gus, Bernie, and Matt. You know, it would never be enough. There's no such thing as a one-off in that regard. We did the staying at home podcast to do exactly that. Matt couldn't make it, so we replaced him with Gavin, and we did 4 episodes of Geoff, Bernie, Gavin, and Gus. And I think we even said in it that, you know, this is probably the only time this is going to happen, the last time it's going to happen. And to this day, people still are like, just do it again. It's like, sometimes it makes you not want to do stuff because you just know what the chatter is going to be afterward, you know? Maybe 2 members of Stinky Dragon, Gus and Barb, 2 members of Regulation, Geoff and Gavin, and sit us a sofa once a week. Yeah, sounds familiar. Sounds real familiar to me. Almost as if it existed. I'm going to be playing Roadcraft for the first time next week when it hits Game Pass, and I've never played a trucks game before. Any advice? Embrace how slow it is. Embrace the zen of it. Don't allow yourself to get frustrated. Be chill. Take it easy. This is fun. It's supposed to be slow. Have fun in it. No, I know it's a joke about the RT pod. Just joking along with you. Yeah, I'll bring the Geoff line back at some point. I own it all. I just have to have the time in my life to do it. My wife is bugging me about it, so it'll happen sooner than later. Like my shirt? Thanks. Las Vegas Aviators, AAA baseball team. It'd be interesting to see, like, 5 years later kind of thing. Is it? I don't know. Upgrade Dillbot? Yeah. I feel like we've got a lot of surface left to scratch with Dillbot. What if Mikey, Fredo, 100%, Regulation, and Stinky all worked out of one place? And for the love of God, let's stop suggesting they remake RT for the 8 billionth time. Yeah. MGS Delta. I never played that game. Regulation content's been top tier. Thank you. I think so too. Really appreciate that. The Achievement City video was a precious gift. Yeah. Something we wanted to do. We wanted to reminisce and have a... I mean, we lovingly built a lot of that stuff, and then we just forget about it and move on with our lives. But we wanted to have our little walk down memory lane together, and we did, and I thought it was great and so much fun, and hopefully that suffices and will assuage people. It did it. Why is it only recognized in 4 of 10 logs? What's going on? I dumped 10 big-ass logs there. They're not all in. You gotta be kidding me. That's not far enough for you. Four. Six. I think I might just have to touch him and then redrop him. 5. Let's go backwards. Seven. Eight. Nine, hopefully. 9, getting there. Is this 10? Is it this one? Back to 8. God damn it. There we go. That was annoying.
Looking at all the distance you
just covered got me thinking again. Oh boy. I know we're not doing that much in the grand scheme of things. Just sit here and help folks. But what could really be better than this? Makes me feel like we're both doing something useful. Feels good, doesn't it? I mean, yeah, I'm the one doing shit. It feels good for me. But I appreciate the conversation. Geoff, I greatly appreciate your willingness to repeatedly talk about the subjects you've covered over and over again without showing annoyance, because you recognize that not everybody hears everything you say all the time. I'm sure it requires a mountain of patience. As somebody with many cognitive challenges, it is greatly appreciated. Thank you, my friend. No problem, regulatory. Here's the deal. I'm a dad. I'm used to answering the same questions over and over and over again as a parent. And so you just, and it's essentially exactly what you're saying. I don't have any illusions that if I say something on this stream tomorrow, the same people will be here again who heard it, And so the whole point of streaming like this is the outreach to find Achievement Hunter and Rooster Teeth and Let's Play fans that may not be aware of the Regulation podcast or what we're up to. And those people are obviously going to be curious about what's been going on, what happened to Rooster Teeth, a company they followed for many years. what's going on in the post-RT world with all the people that they enjoyed and, participated in the fandom of all that stuff. And so I would be real dickhead of me to be annoyed with people being interested in all of that, Be worse if they weren't interested. If they were like, I don't care. Nobody gave a shit about Rooster Teeth. Who cares? Whatever, That would suck. Oh, the famous Japanese racehorse. Sorry to hear that. Break show every Monday. Well, definitely one more Monday. Break show next Monday at 3 p.m. Central. We'll see after that. Keep on staying real, Geoff. Just happy to be able to catch the streams. No problem. I would like to turn the electricity on in some of these places, and I don't know why I don't seem to be able to do that. Also, you know what? Let's get to the bottom of this. Let's figure this out. This is going to fall apart right here. I want to fix this so that we can get our 800 stars and $5,000. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, hopefully the break show will have many more episodes in its future. We'll see. It's going well so far, for sure. Man, you guys got me talking about old RT stuff. I hadn't broken down the cost of a Minecraft video in that way in a very long time. See, all that stuff, that's what, like, the second the cameras are off or we hit stop on the recording, that's all the stuff that I was in. The part you didn't see was me in Excel, looking at tables and columns and rows and sorting, and you didn't see a lot of math, a lot of spreadsheets, a lot of like complicated maneuvering to try to figure out how to make stuff make money or make sense. Yeah. You guys just had the benefit of seeing us fall into a hole in fuel and not be able to drive out of it, but there were so many other holes behind the scenes that we were spreadsheeting our way out of. Braid show set looked great. I watched about 45 minutes before I realized it was set up in the small bedroom in the office. Yeah, it's the break room in the office. Those ASMR beard scratches. Can't even picture you in Excel. Man, I spent a lot of my life in Excel. When I worked at the tech support company, I was the scheduler. I was the company scheduler, and so I was responsible for scheduling. When I started, about 60 people. Started doing it, about 60 people. When it was over, I was scheduling 250 employees a week, somewhere between 20 and 50-hour schedules, 24-hour day call center. A big part of what I did was figuring out that schedule and making it work, and a big part of that, most of that, was Excel. All right, this is where this motherfucker's having an issue, so this is where we're going to see. Let me spectate. Okay. Let's do it. I've got my good stuff out at the other job site. I don't want to pull it because I might have to build roads out there. So let's use some of the other equipment. Let's use some of the other equipment for this. All right, so this is right where he is down there is where he's stuck. Was it? Yeah, this way. Pivot tables? Oh, I used to have to use pivot tables. Ugh. You guys are gonna give me nightmares talking about pivot tables. Jesus Christ. Please, no more. I think Eric thought my rooftop goat comment was pretty funny. Sort ad. I don't know. Can't wait for the Brait Show VOD. What was your biggest piece of advice to someone thinking about getting into content creation? Get to it. Content's not going to make itself. Best time to start's yesterday. If it sucks, don't show anybody. Nobody has to see what you make. You're making it to get better and to practice and get comfortable doing what you're doing. Don't lose sight of that. Don't feel like just because you made it, you have to share it. You could make 50 videos before you release one to the world. Nobody would ever know. Well, he really doesn't have as much as that other dude, but I really don't want to have to drive those guys all the way back down there. Although I do have all the respawns in the world right now, 28, so it really doesn't matter. How far back do I got to go? Ah, that's fine. Kool-Aid pickles. Oh, my Lord. I work as a therapist, and man, does Excel make my life simple. I wish I took a course in it longer. Yeah. It's a useful tool that I don't ever want to use again. I mean, don't get me wrong. We have, Google Sheets of spreadsheets and stuff, but nothing like it used to be. Nothing like it used to be. Oh, my God. The old days. Don't get me started. There was a period of time when I didn't do it anymore. But I would say from maybe 2010 to maybe 2013, 14, I had a day of the month where I just was in Excel. I had to spend an entire day of the month doing reporting to figure out, well, a lot of stuff. But eventually other people did those jobs. But there was one day of the month, it was my hell day, where I just I came in and I just looked at fucking Excel all day long. Looked at Excel and YouTube reports all day long. All right, good enough. Let's... I'll use the rusty version of you. It's probably still better than the other guy. No offense to the other guy. The whole bit yesterday about getting mail for other people, whoever came up with that, man, I can't believe that played out the way that it did. That's the cool thing about what we do, is that sometimes there are these happy accidents where you couldn't have scripted a better sequence of events to go from opening up a Face Jam to a Emily a Clutch My Pearls gift to a guy who sent it to us, but made the joke about passing it through all the people in the world before it got to us, which is just, it's a funny joke to begin with, but literally coming on the heels of 2 gifts that weren't for us. It was just, it couldn't have been funnier. It was so funny. Do I like cucumbers? Yeah. Do I have an interesting way to eat them in salad, or just slice them up and eat them? Put some tagine on them or something and eat them that way. Yeah, the timing was like, so often those like things like that happen, and you just can't believe that it's not scripted because the timing is too good. But they very rarely are. Usually, just like the universe just plays out that way a lot, I find. All right, let's get him out of the way. Might as well pave this bitch. I think, yeah. Is he the only? No, I have another one. I have this guy. Do I think that there is inherently a difference between content creator and artist other than the new name? I don't think that all content creators are artists, but I don't think all artists are content creators. I think they're different. I think they can overlap, but they certainly don't need to. Oh, man. Which would I want to try out of all the trucks? I don't know. You know, I don't think this comes from a place of me wanting to do it in real life. This is not going well, by the way. I don't feel a particular pull to drive any of these things in the real world. Probably a bulldozer, I guess. I don't know. But it's just like I don't want to, like, crawl around in the mud in a war zone and shoot people with a gun. It's kind of the same thing. I play it in video games, so I don't have to do it in real life. This isn't like filling some sort of a childhood or primordial urge that I've always had to want to be work construction or anything. It's just fun. I don't know. Just fun in the way that any video game's fun. It's fun in the way I assume Silk Song is fun for people that like that game. What was my MOS? I was a 46 Quebec photojournalist and public affairs specialist. Is journalism art? Can be. Doesn't have to be. Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks. If I ever want to take some trees down, I'll hit you up. I'm a big fan of trees, though. I like them. I feel bad when I take them down in this game, honestly. Using the old guys. It's fun to use these old dudes again a little bit after moving to all the, newer, fancier gear. Thank you for the break show. No problem. Thank you for supporting and watching it. I am really jazzed to be back at it. I'll be honest with you. I was extremely nervous to do it. I think just because I hadn't done it in a very, very long time, year and a half, and talked about this a bit at the top of the show, but I really didn't remember doing it. I really, it's like Eric and I were both talking about how like production's like that. You move from production to production, and you do something every Monday or every week for years, and then you don't do it anymore. But you immediately fill that time with something else, and so you don't really miss it, And so I spent most of the weekend trying to remember without going back and watching it because I didn't think that would help. I think that would hurt. Trying to remember what the break show was, and then we just slipped right back into it. It was easy peasy. It was like I don't know. You just like run on autopilot. It's my Neo, I know Kung Fu moment. Great pic of me in the diner. Oh, thanks. Wes took that photo. He's incredibly talented. Has everything to do with him and nothing to do with me. Did any of my journalist work in the Army make it big in the mainstream? No. No, I didn't serve during a war or anything. All right, one last little stripe right here. We should be good. Put this bad boy out of the way, and I played Left 4 Dead 2 for the first time Sunday. I understand why you always talked about that game back in the day. It's a great game. Great game. I had some photos that got circulated here and there. Yeah, for sure. I had some. If you went for a while there, if you went to the 3 Corps headquarters in Kuwait, like every picture on the wall was me for about a year. I don't know if, that was 100 years ago. I'm sure that's not the case anymore. Is there a particular story you'll always remember covering in the Army? Nope. No, not really. Okay, let's... I don't think about the Army much or my time in it. Not for any reason other than it was, 32 years ago when I joined the Army. It's just a lifetime ago. Don't miss Kuwait. No, I don't either. I was trying to think of anything that I do miss. I mean, there was some... No, I really don't. I really don't miss it. It'd be cool to see again once, but I don't miss it. I definitely don't miss Panama. Panama was some of the scaredest I've been in the military. And miserable. When I wasn't scared, I was miserable. What are you personally most excited about filming that's coming up that you can share? I can't say. There is an answer, and I realize you said that I can share. That I can share. We're gonna play Borderlands on Friday. I'm excited about that. Borderlands 4. Do I miss peeing in duffel bags? No, I don't remember. I don't miss being the age that I did dumb and offensive stuff. Although he did deserve it. The military is very boring, like 85% of the time. What I don't miss is the hurry up and wait. Maybe my least favorite thing on earth is sitting in a gym in full Miles gear with my duffel bag ready to deploy, and you just like, I don't know if it works the same way, but you'd have to show up something. Like, say you're going to go to Kuwait, right? I want everybody to be at the gym at 3 a.m. And you get to the gym, and then they file you in. You probably got your M16. You got your Miles gear on. You got your Kevlar. You've got a duffel bag and a backpack probably. And then you sit in the bleachers and wait. And then, let's say you hit the bleachers at 3. Then at like 4:15, somebody comes in and they tell you to get on the buses. And then you all file onto buses. And then you drive to the tarmac on a bunch of like Trailways buses in West Fort Hood. And then you sit on the tarmac in front of like a, I don't know, DC-7 or something. And you sit on, and they go, all right, we're going to everybody get off the buses in a little bit and get on the plane. And you go, okay, that's 4:35. Then you sit on those buses until 6:05. No going to the bathroom. No doing anything. Just sitting. Listening to dudes bitch about how they want to smoke. Or they can't smoke a cigarette. Or how long are we going to sit on the bus? When can I get off the fucking bus and stretch my legs? Just a bunch of dudes complaining. And then you get off the bus, and then you filter onto a plane, and then you sit on a plane for 20 hours, and then you get off in Kuwait or wherever, and you go and get on a bus, and then you sit on that bus in a different parking lot for half an hour. Then you drive to another parking lot, and you sit on that bus, same seat, for like another 45 minutes, and they filter you off the bus and then into a different gym. And then you sit in bleachers in a different gym, and then they tell you some shit, and then you splinter off into your unit or whatever, and then you go and you move into wherever you're moving to. It just sucks. It just sucks. No phone, no book, no video game, no nothing. Just stare ahead. That's what the military was. Sit on the tarmac. Yeah, I mean, we had bleachers at the gyms, like by base. They would station people at. No, I don't smoke cigarettes. Never have. I could. There's no switch, Stormy. You can't bring a switch. You think your CSM is gonna look over at a bunch of soldiers that are supposed to be battle ready, waiting to deploy to a third world country for fucking to defend democracy and freedom or whatever? You think some full bird colonel or some lieutenant colonel or some major or some command sergeant major isn't going to turn over and see you with a switch in your hand and not beat the ever loving shit out of you in front of 200 people? No, thank you. Call of Duty did not exist when I was in the military. I was stationed at Fort Hood. I was stationed in Fort Benjamin Harrison. I was stationed at Fort Jackson. I was stationed at Camp Doha. I was stationed at the National Training Center, and I was stationed at Fort Monmouth, New Jersey. Like, you don't, like, when you're a soldier, you're not a human. You're property. You're the military's property. You're not allowed to do things like play a video game because you're sitting somewhere bored. It doesn't work that way. You don't have that kind of autonomy or freedom in your life. Relaxing, Jackson. That's just where I went to basic training, but in a portion of a journalism school. I keep in touch with a few people from the military. Do I predate the flip-down smartphone tablet pocket on the front of the plate carrier? I predate cell phones. Was it worth it? Yeah, of course. It wasn't fun, but it was worth it. Supported my country, you know. Defended America. Served my country, I guess would be how I would put it. Soldiers would actually allow an officer to physically assault them and take it. What do you want to do? Go to jail? You gonna hit an officer back? You can go to jail. You can go to Fort Leavenworth. Enjoy being in jail, getting beat up by other soldiers. Yeah, you would have no recourse. I don't mean physically. I don't mean some guy's gonna physically beat you up in front of. I mean he's gonna emotionally and mentally and beat the shit out of you, and then he's probably gonna make you do some heinous punishment. I don't think he's actually going to walk out and punch you in the face. Although I did see some of that stuff too, but I don't think that goes on as much as it used to. No confidence, no consequences for the officer. The officer's in charge. Is he going to consequence himself? Okay. That's not how the world works, buddy. I hate to tell you. Remember my first cell phone when I was 13 or 14. What they would do is they would probably give you an Article 14 or 15, whatever it's called. I genuinely can't remember. And why didn't they get to me? And they would dock your pay for 60 days, take half your money from you, and make you do extra duties, maybe take all your free time away. Maybe at 5 p.m. on Friday when everybody else is off work, you go do CQ duty all weekend until Monday morning because you were playing a Switch in front of your CO on a bench. There are a million ways they can make you miserable and take away from you. KP until you die, yeah. Do I still get paid now? By the military? No, I didn't retire from the military. I don't receive a pension from the military. I was only in for 5 years. You have to retire from the military or become disabled in the military to maintain some sort of benefits like that. Did I read a lot in the military? Yeah. A lot of people read. Residuals from military. It doesn't know. There's no residuals. Anything that I did for the Army as a photographer is wholly owned by the Army. Just like anything I did for Rooster Teeth is wholly owned by Warner Brothers, unless I bought it back. man. Now we're getting stuck here? Really? Huh. I think he's going to make it. But will the next guy? No, I don't do any photography today. I've passed the torch to my daughter. She goes to school. She's in college for photography. She will be the family photographer. What's up, Rosie? Do I think it would have been more expensive if it was named Regulation? No, not especially. Do you? Why is he taking this so tight? The other guy didn't take it this tight. I don't think that was necessary, dude. I'll have to adjust that a little bit, I guess. I think it was said that it was tricky for ads. Yeah, it was hard to sell to an advertiser a name like Fuckface, for sure. Really? Zero floats. If it was Regulation from day one, it might have been worth even more. I don't think so. I don't think if it wouldn't be the show that it is if it was Regulation from day one, you know? A lot went into turning Regulation into Regulation. We had to go through a lot of fuckface. We had to build that lore and that world up and that idea of how... I think everything happened. You guys love to do what-ifs. You ever notice that? Every time I could do the chat when I stream, there's so many what-ifs. It's like I don't know if that's a generational thing. You guys love to look backwards and say, what if? Not that it's a problem. It doesn't bother me or anything. I just I notice it so much more here than any other conversation I have. As a collective, you guys love to second guess things, which is, I don't know what that says. Working on it in therapy. What kind of questions would I like chat to ask me? I don't care one way or the other. I'm happy to answer either or. It's just an observation. Chat, you guys don't have to ask me any questions if you don't want to. More of just just something I notice over time. I wonder if it's a cultural or generational thing. Peanut butter and jelly for dinner. All right, let's... I guess... I want to get my first tattoo. Where should I get it? That can't be a real question. I'm sorry. I don't know what the tattoo is. I don't know what you're into. I don't know where... I don't know if you have all your limbs. There's so much information I don't have that goes into picking where a tattoo goes. That's very kind of you to say. I need to take a shower. I'm pretty dirty. I'm pretty dirty today. I watched the list of Last of the Gears playthroughs. Awesome job. I got to say, watching the team suffer through the 3-hour video was probably the hardest I've laughed in a while. I had so much fun doing that with those guys. It's very rare that Andrew, Gavin, and I do something just the three of us. And it was a lot of fun to have that. We were recording so hot and heavy with it, we just couldn't stop. Sorry. Make sure I'm not in trouble with my wife. Oh, no. God damn. Ugh. Mike Tyson's face on your face. No, I'm good. Did you ever make beans in the second bean hole? No, we never did. We just buried the memory card. I think. Right? That's what we did, right? We threw a memory card in there and something on it and buried it. It's hard for me to remember some of these old bits. What do you think? You think you can just make it now? If I could just send him, see if he makes it. Yeah, fuck it, right? Hopefully it doesn't get stuck here again. No, let's let it go. Yeah, that's right. We made the pens. I found one yesterday, actually. Did you think I'd be moving so shortly after burying that memory card? I did not. I definitely did not. I needed to move away from that house at some point just because it wasn't a forever home, and I knew that. But I didn't think it would be then. Yeah. I wasn't expecting Rooster Teeth to go under at that time. I mean, I wasn't. I was kind of always expecting it, but it was definitely a monkey wrench. I'm great. How you doing, Rosie? I made my girlfriend, now fiance, buy me the beanhole pin for Christmas, and she was beyond confused. The break show was awesome yesterday. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed doing it. It was fun. It's crazy how time flies. It's hard to believe that it's been a year and a half since we did that. It's been a busy year and a half, though, huh? All right. I forgot about this spot. He always has trouble here. But he makes it. Every time. He makes it, and he's going to keep making it, so that's not a problem. So you were seeing the writing on the walls? Of course. For years. Keen to be here for stream. I'm happy to have you. Always a great day with Roadcraft. I agree. All right, let's see if we hug this corner too tight. That's not a bad looking little road we made though, I gotta say. All right, don't hug this too tight. All right, we should fix that. That's dumb. Although he's handling it better than the other guy did for sure. This is where it's a problem. Back up, Terry. Oh, nice, Rosie. Cool. I'm glad they recommended it. What will I stream next week? On my personal channel? You're looking at it. And the week after, and the week after, and the week after. Okay, he failed. Right there. Why? Stupid. All right. Let's try this again. I would pay a tremendous amount of money to hear you, Ray, and Michael scream at each other again. Oh, let me tell you, Scuba, I can help you out there. Save your money. You don't have to spend a dime. All you got to do is go on YouTube and look up Achievement Hunter and Let's Play. There are hundreds of videos, hundreds of hours of content of Ray and Michael and I screaming at each other for you to ingest. It's all still there. It didn't go anywhere. It's all still there. Video after video. I bet you don't even remember 90% of them, even if you think you do. My ears are looking good today. Okay. I'll keep it up on the ear front. Thank you. Grew up watching you. Very thankful you're still producing hilarious stuff. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we did just record two Rainbow Six videos with Ray. So you can watch those as well on regulation. Face cams and everything. Strong ear game. So this guy coming. There we go. I'm building a Hercule Poirot, the World of Hercule Poirot poster. Or puzzle, you can see. So it's like, you see the back. It's like, can you spot all the different nods to the different Agatha Christie books featuring characters from Hercule Poirot? So that's what I'm doing. That's my puzzle right now. It failed. Where did it fail? God damn it, I wasn't watching. We gotta do it all over again. All right. Did it fail? It must have failed here. Shit. All you can eat ribs versus all you can eat wings. Probably ribs. I'm not selling anything on eBay right now. It is a nice puzzle. Thanks. Burn Dog and Vanessa gave it to me. It's one of theirs. We trade puzzles back and forth because they do puzzles like I do. So they just finished this one and gave it to me, and I just gave them a Titanic puzzle. Roads are good. It's hard to fuck up a wing. I agree, Stormy. It is easier to fuck up ribs, but a good rib tastes better. I'm not super into 3D puzzles, no. I prefer pork over beef, but I'll eat either. In terms of ribs. What's this about? Why are we going slow here? Don't do that. Your driver is texting. Man, the AI in this game. Have I ever been to the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown? I have not. Spider's making Rourke ribs next week. What do I think about lamb ribs? I don't know if I've ever... I'm not a huge fan of lamb in general. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking, Joe. Hope you're doing well. Oh, I did fuck him. He can't get through here, huh? Yeah. I guess I had it just right before. It's weird that I'm going to have to come back here and do all these roads that didn't need it before. But fuck it. That's what we're here for, right? Where's the dump truck? Where's the dump truck? Where's the damn dump truck? Annoying that we're having to repair roads to complete delivery requests that we've already mostly completed. Is that new Egyptian barbecue joint good? If you're talking about KG barbecue, I don't think it's very new at this point, but yeah, it's real good. I haven't eaten it in over a year probably, but last time I did, it was pretty special. I think the lines are pretty prohibitive now. It's become very popular. I'm so excited for the new episode of Alien Earth. You have no idea, Jorky. I thought that last episode, episode 5, was the best alien anything I had ever seen. It was so fucking good. I cannot wait for this week's episode. There you are. I didn't say anything about... no spoilers in episode 5. I won't spoil anything. Just other than I just think it was the best episode by far, but like the best movie. Like if you made that a movie, it was the best alien movie, I think. It was just really, really well done. Cars 1? Well, it's the desert landscape, I think, right? How many copies of myself to beat a xenomorph in a fight? A lot. A lot. I'm pretty scared of xenomorphs, man. I don't think that I would fare well. They're, this Alien, Prometheus Covenant, and then this series have shown me that I stand no chance against a xenomorph or any of those aliens. They are designed to consume me on a molecular level, and I just have no defenses. Yeah, it never really started. There were no spoilers. I'm not going to spoil anything. All right. Let's try again to do this thing that we've already done multiple times without issue. Do I think there's an alien out there that's Alien Geoff? Probably not. Well, in the sense that I'm familiar with H.R. Giger, you know, and like, especially as a kid of the 80s, H.R. Giger was like the counterculture, you know, edgy artist for our generation. Is it gonna work? Let's pray that it works. I would consider it progress if we can at least get this reward moving again. Feels like other than that, we didn't really do too much today, but that's okay. Not every day has to be a big day. H.R. Giger has his house here in Switzerland. You can visit him. I don't think he would. I don't think he knows me. Just show up. What's up, HR? I got to record a whole ass So All Right today. Can I record a whole So All Right about as a movie review? Or can I record a movie review and make it a whole So All Right? I hope so. That's kind of what I'm planning to do today. I hope there's enough there to make an episode. If not, I guess I can talk about the break show. I figured that you were referring to a museum, Chunky. I was just being silly. Just mute the mic? Nah. It would not be entertaining to watch. It would just be me staring at a computer screen doing this. That's it. That's what it looks like. No! Make it! Oh, you motherfucker. He hasn't failed yet. Even though I'm ring around the rosy in here, he still hasn't failed. Maybe he'll make it. Nope. I can't. Can't believe I'm failing here. Yeah, just to autopath to the... You basically create a supply line and then make sure that they can get from point A to point B as the dispatcher. He's just having trouble with a spot he really shouldn't be having trouble with. This is the frustrating thing. I think maybe what I should do... Yeah? Yeah, all right. That'll work. All right. Let's watch him get to here. Yeah, let's watch him get to here. He'll make it to here. All right, and then we're done. Then we're going to call it a day. We're going to get this guy there, and then we're done. Does a regulation listener what? Does a regulation listener retain their listening status by chatting with the stream? They do not. You are a comment leaver. Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of there's more regulation listeners than comment leavers, but I wish there weren't. I wish that everybody would comment. Join the club. Join the family. I guess we could watch the progress, huh? All right. You are going to... The blue devil here is going to be the one that makes it. You're going to do, like, the trucks of your predecessors who did make it, and you're also going to make it, even though I've made it so much easier for you to get there than your previous counterparts who seem to make it without any trouble. Have a great day, Chunky. We'll see you later. Be safe out there. All right. This is going to work. We're going to celebrate. It's going to be awesome. Then I'm going to go take a mega shit. Then I'm going to go for a bike ride. Then I'm going to come home, take a shower, and record Soul Right. And then I had to make 1 million thumbnails for Nick today. And I have to do ad reads. And I have to do cameos today. So I'll be doing all those things. I'm so fucking excited for this truck to make it. With no trouble whatsoever. Look at this. It's so easy. Couldn't have asked for a better road here to get around this. It's just beautiful. And then it transitions right into more pavement. More asphalt. Still looking good. Don't cut it too close. You didn't. He learned. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Could be a little better, but close enough. Way faster around that. And here we come up, and then look at this beautiful patch of dirt I created for you to make it that much easier for you to get up this gentle slope. Shouldn't be any issue at all. Yet here we are. It's very clearly an issue for you. You are going to be such a tomorrow problem to solve. I'm very excited about the opportunity to finish this. But for today, we're going to make sure you make it. You specifically are going to make it. We'll deal with the rest of you tomorrow. But for now, great job, buddy. All right. Let's go ahead and dump some more dirt while we're here. That's a shame. Tomorrow, Geoff is so mad at me. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe I'll stream again this afternoon if I get a bunch of stuff done. I'm in a pretty good place with stuff right now, so. Okay. Something to work with tomorrow. All right. Where do you think we're going to end our day? We were at, I don't even remember, 60 something. I think we got like 3% done today. Not a lot at all. Let's see where we end up. 64 is where we were, maybe. I'd say we're like 60, 68. 65. Okay, I think we did 1%. Okay, great. 65% is where we're ending. I will see you guys here at 8 a.m. tomorrow for more coffee and Roadcraft. Maybe I'll be on this evening a little bit, depending on how well the rest of my day goes. But at worst case scenario, I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the donations. Really do appreciate you helping me make a living. Everybody have a great day. And if I don't see you later today, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.